Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TeamWorks. I hope you're enjoying our team building phase. I hope you've enjoyed over, under, through, tallest tower, doing your team rules, etc., etc. So we're going to continue on that theme of team building. So remember, while we're in this team building phase, we are trying to satisfy that need, that sense of belonging and community. So don't forget what we taught you in your training, that the team building phase or the whole team approach at the end of the day is to help satisfy the need of belonging and community. So keep that in mind when you're trying to get the kids to work together. You want to give them something that they feel like they belong to. So just a little something to remember. Additionally, we also want to build that group cohesion and that sense of unity. We want them to problem solve. They want them to problem solve not individually, but collectively as a group. So all these activities are kind of focused on working together as a group, and they're problem solving or working through a challenge. All right? And it's not enough to tell them that they are part of a team. Our goal should be is to get them to perform as a team. All right? So it's not enough to tell them that you're a team. We want to get them to perform as a team, as well as believe that they're part of a true team. So though we have this whole team focus and this whole team approach, we also got to remember this. We want to remember that we want to continue to build their self-esteem even though we're doing team activities. So don't forget to celebrate and acknowledge those individual contributions or successes. Because the more you build that self-esteem, the more they're feeling valued and feeling like they're contributing or have something worthy to contribute to the team, the more likely they're going to buy into the concept of working as a team. So don't forget about celebrating those individual accomplishments, though we're doing team building activities. All right, let's move on to the fun. So your activity for this week is called Dream Team Draft. Dream Team Draft. Try saying that really fast 5 times. But that's your activity. And of course, we're in that team building phase. So our question of the day is, what is one of your main goals while in middle school? What is one of your main goals while in middle school? So I'm sure they're going to throw out all kinds of things. It might be to make more friends, to bring a grade up, to bring a C to a B, get straight A's, get to school on time, etc., etc., etc. So it's a great opportunity for you to get to know your kids a little bit more while they're in middle school. And what are some of the goals that they have in middle school? So that's a good one. What is one of their main goals while they're in middle school? Next, we have an energizer. And joining me today is the lovely and talented Angie Martinez, which some of you may know as your own very own program coordinator. Say hi, Angie.
Hi.
Hi, Angie. All right. Well, Angie, if you can step aside for a second, we're doing an activity called It's a Circus. And it's a circus because it's a little mad, it's a little crazy, it's a little chaotic, but it's fun. Again, it's a team building kind of activity. They got to work as a team. It's a relay race. So you're going to break your students up into 2 groups. They're going to race back and forward, 1 student at a time, to recreate an image. Again, 2 groups racing back and forth, 1 at a time, recreating an image. But here's one of the major rules that you got to remember. They're recreating this image 1 brush stroke at a time, or 1 line at a time. So mentors, in your directions, it's going to say watercolors, but we're actually going to give you markers because we think it's going to be a little bit easier for you to facilitate and pull it all together. We just give you some everyday household markers instead of having to go look for water and keep dipping it in the watercolors and whatnot. So you're going to get some markers, all right? So here's how it's going to go. Angie's going to pretend she's on my team, so we're going to pretend we're 1 team, and you guys are going to get an image. You're going to have several images. You're going to have 4 images to choose from. There's a dog, a cat, a fish, and a car. All right? So you have your teams ready. You might want to have them in a straight line. Make them decide who's going to go first, second, third, fourth, etc. And then when you say go, you're going to show the image. And so let's say, Angie, you're going to stay there. We're going to come from over there. All right. We didn't coordinate this, obviously. So let's say Angie's here with our team, and our other team is here. Now we're going to say, okay, boom, the image is a cat. So when you say go, Angie and I are going to take turns running back and forth to recreate this cat. But remember, 1 brushstroke at a time, which is really 1 line at a time. So if we draw a line and connect it to another part, that's 2. That doesn't count. 1 line at a time. Got it, Angie?
Yes.
Think you can do it?
Yes.
I hope I can do it. There you go. All right, go. Go, Angie. Go, Angie. Faster, faster. The other team is winning. Oh. All right, and this will be our last line just for the sake of our video. And there you go, there you have it. Give Angie a round of applause. Very good for your artistic skills and your speed and your agility. You're awesome. So that's it. So remember, one brushstroke at a time, one line at a time. So for example, as we were doing the ears, a student cannot do that. It has to be one part of the ear, and then another student needs to run up to do the other part of the ear. So just something to keep in mind when you're doing It's a Circus. All right, let's get the Dream Team Draft. A very fun activity in that it really helps build that sense of team. It really does help deliver that idea of team. So Dream Team Draft is very similar. For those of you who play fantasy football, it's very similar to fantasy football. And those of you who don't have fantasy football or have never played it, fantasy football is really a game in which people, pick players. They create an imaginary team of players, so they're picking from the NFL or whatever league it is, and then they earn points for those players' individual statistics, all right? So it's kind of the same concept. We're going to pick our dream team. And so what's going to happen is really simple. The students are going to get a roster of players. So you're going to break your team up into 2 groups. They're going to get a roster of players, and then you're going to tape up each of the players. So you'll have some additional cutouts. While they're sitting on the teams, they're looking at the roster. The players will already be taped up, and they're going to decide who are going to be the members of their team that they want to draft. They're going to pick 8. Again, it's 8 players they're drafting with 2 alternates, 2 backups, because the students are going back and forth drafting from the list of 16, and each team must end up with 8. And we're probably going to be going after the same players, so that's why you need the backup, the alternate players. So again, I'm going to have Angie come back, and we're going to take a stab at this. Angie, we've already figured out who our 8 players are, right? All right, so we're going to go back and forth. So I'm going to have Angie be on one team, Angie get in the shot, and I'm going to be on another team. So you know who your players are? All right, so we're going to flip a coin, imaginary coin. I call tails, I go first. So anyway, I'm going to come up, and I'm picking, oh gosh, I forgot who we picked. Leader. I pick leader for my team.
I pick hardworking.
Angie pick hardworking. My team's going to come back up. I pick team oriented.
I pick reliable.
All right, so you'll go back and forth, you'll pick your teams, and then when they're done, have your teams come back together and share why they chose their players. So Angie, why did you choose your players?
A hard worker always gets the job done, and somebody reliable, you can always count on them to do the work.
And my team, we pick number 6, who was the leader, who keeps the group on track and working together. Every team needs a leader to keep everybody on track. We also pick player number 11, who's team oriented, because he gets the whole team involved and keeps everyone in mind. So you need that group cohesion. So I pick team oriented. And that's basically the first round of it, all right? The second round of it is like I just explained. You're going to keep developing on that concept of a dream team. You're going to give each student a blank handout, So the second round, they get a blank one, so similar to this. And everyone will get a blank one, and then they're going to fill it out. Now they're going to decorate it. It can look like them, to resemble them. And they're going to write 3 strengths or qualities or traits, all right? So that's part 2. So Angie, how about I give you one? And here's a marker for you. And I'm going to take a stab at one. And we're going to create one really quickly. All right, time's up, Angie. Wow, Angie, you're really fast. So Angie will now explain to the group what she brings together as a team. It looks just like you. Remarkable. All right, Angie, tell us about your player. What you bring?
I am a hard worker, I am helpful, and I am caring.
Nice. And then I did mine, and I am a motivator, I'm creative, and I'm really energetic. All right? So that's part 2. So they get a minute to create or bring their own values and illustrate them. Then afterwards, part 3 is you simply get all your team's players together in like a circle, and then you staple them all together. And let me go to that part right here, just so I can tell you what happens. I got ahead of myself. But at the end of the day, when you're bringing them together for part 3, after everyone has shared their individual contributions to the team, their strengths and their talents, you've now put together your all-star team. All right? And that is how you pull together the Dream Team Draft. Dream Team Draft. All right, so you know I like to always end with a positive, inspirational quote. Remember, you're trying to build that sense of unity and cohesion. celebrating those individual contributions so you get their buy-in and they believe they're a part of a team. So I'm going to leave you with this final note. Coming together is a beginning, all right? Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. But working together is success. Will, signing out.